This is the BYD Seal. No, it's not. Got it wrong already. Brilliant. It's the BYD Sealion. Bear with me. I've reviewed a lot. Well, I've driven a lot of BYD cars recently. You may not have seen all of them on this channel yet, but trust me, they're coming. We had 4 weeks of BYD press car deliveries, and this is the last one. And it's my favourite. And I'm going to do something very different in this review, which is not look at the spec sheet and, more importantly, not look at the price. I've done neither of those things. I just had this car delivered about a week ago now, and try not to crash into this van. He's letting me go, good stuff. I've got basically no idea about it apart from, thank you mate, what it looks like and my opinion on what it looks like. And what I'll do at the end of this video is pull over and check the price and see if I'm surprised by it. You've probably done your research, haven't you? Let's be honest. This isn't a new car. I'm quite late to the party, I appreciate that. So you've probably done a lot of research already. You know what the price is, you know the spec you're probably gonna go for. I think my videos often are the last video that you might watch, and it may sway you one way or the other, who knows. Let's start with the looks of this thing. And I think this is a very pretty car, particularly in this color. I'm not sure what colour it is, like I say, because I have not looked at the spec for this particular car, but it's a lovely, lovely colour, and it's just an attractive car. It's as simple as that. It's not an SUV, it's not even a crossover SUV. What is it? That water bottle's annoying, apologies. I think it's an attractive looking car, but as always, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, so let me know what you think in the comments. The interior, really nice. When the guy dropped it off, and he doesn't work for BYD, by the way, that these cars normally are dropped off by delivery companies, so they don't have any affinity with the brand. He's one of the first car delivery guys that's got out of the car, come over to me and said, "You're gonna love this. Come and check this out." He wanted to give me like a demo of the interior, even though he was just dropping it off. I have to agree with him. It's a really nice place to sit. The colour of this interior, it's open to debate, I think. I like it, I think. I have to be very careful what I say here, but I don't think it's the sort of colour my generation would go for. But that said, I do like a light interior. It's basically the same colour as the exterior colour. It's airy, that's the best way to put it. And it's also nautical. So I think most of BYD's cars have a sea theme. They have like a sea creature animal theme, and obviously this one is sea lion. Now I always say this, I'm not the person to speak to when it comes to design choices and the way that designers go about their work, because I have no idea. I'm not qualified in that area at all. As you can probably tell, I'm not very stylish myself, so I can't comment on what those, what it means in terms of being a nautical themed car, but clearly it's got these kind of swooping lines on the interior, and I don't know if they're meant to be like waves or something. I have no idea, but it's just it's an interesting interior. It's a lovely place to be. It feels a lot bigger than it actually is. That's good. Good headroom for someone like me. I'm about 5'8", 5'9"-ish, depending on what day it is. Rear headroom is pretty good as well. No problem getting my son's car seat in there. Again, he loves this car. He loves, as he always does, the great big panoramic sunroof, which doesn't open, but it does let lots of light into the cabin. There are some slightly odd choices. I don't really understand why we've got this massive, again, it's this kind of swooping thing, this kind of swooping wavy thing, but it kind of acts as another door handle. So we've got a door handle here and a regular one here. It's a bit weird, but again, it's interesting. We can't really complain. We do have the tilting screen, which you get on every BYD, which, if you haven't seen before, does this. And I'm getting a little bit bored talking about it, to be honest, but equally, I still can't come up with a valid use case for it, apart from navigation, because you can see a bit further ahead on the road. That is pushing it, though, and I can guarantee, again, I always say this, if you buy a BYD, you will return to it being this way around, just because it feels more natural. And also, you're going to use Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, and neither of those systems are compatible in that vertical view, which is a bit weird. It'd be nice to have just a great big, a huge iPhone in front of me, but that's not the way it works, and that's not BYD's fault. So interior-wise, really good. We get 2 great big charging pads here for your phone. There are lovely cup holders, which do have the kind of adjustable thing, so they go really, really deep actually, but you can press a button here, and it kind of brings them back up, and you can very minutely adjust it, the depth of it, based on the size of your cup. The door pockets aren't too bad. There's not a huge amount of room there, to be fair. Seats are lovely. Every BYD seat I've sat in looks lovely and feels lovely as well. They're very comfortable. On this particular model, they are heated and ventilated as well, which is lovely. The stereo in this one is a Dyne audio system. It's okay. It's not amazing. It does the job, to be honest. There's a sub in the back and there's speakers everywhere. Sticking with the theme of the infotainment system, I like the fact that we have a digital dash behind here that isn't this kind of weird stuck-on thing that you get on with some BYD. Some of the less expensive, presumably, BYD cars have a kind of thing here, which I'll show some footage of it so you know what I'm talking about, but here we have a proper dash display which works. I also have a heads-up display, which I would guess is probably a add-on. Performance. Okay, so if this is going to be your first EV, just hold on to your trousers, because it is stupidly quick. What I love about the Sealion is that BYD puts the 0 to 60 time on the back of the car. So that 4.3S isn't the trim level. It's obviously not the number of cylinders. It's not the size of the engine. It doesn't have an engine. So it is literally the 0 to 60 or 0 to 62 time. 4.3 is quick, don't get me wrong. It doesn't sound as biblically quick as some EVs, but it doesn't really matter. As soon as you find a very empty piece of road like I've just found here, and you put it into sport mode and you put your foot down, whoa, 60. That is unnervingly quick. Unnervingly quick, to the point where it does throw your stomach, but your stomach stays back there, basically. There's two sides to this coin. One is the fact that it's impressive. It genuinely is. It's like, this is one of the fastest things I've ever driven in my entire life in a straight line. The second thing is, and I do have this issue with EVs, that I don't quite understand why it needs so much power. Based on who's going to be buying this, based on the fact that certainly in the UK, you can never explore what this car can do. You cannot, it's impossible. You will break the law immediately. So the fact that you can do this is just fairly pointless. And for some people, not judging at all, but for people who perhaps don't know how to handle a car, you could just end up in a hedge, smashed into a tree. It bothers me a little bit that these cars are heading out to lots of people who maybe don't know how to drive very well. You will beat most things off the line in this. Once you're kind of driving and doing, I don't know, 40, 50 miles an hour, the pickup at that point is okay. It's not amazing, but it gets you out of trouble. It's great for overtaking, but off a straight line in that sport mode, ridiculous. This does have other modes. It has Eco, which I've been using for motorway journeys, and Snow, which I haven't been using because it's June in the UK. Interesting that it's got snow. No idea why, because it's not really an SUV. It's not really well, this is all-wheel drive, to be fair. I know this is the all-wheel drive version, but range-wise, 74% remaining on the battery at the moment, and that tells me I'm going to get 221 miles out of it. Again, like any EV, you're never going to get exactly what it says on there, but it does a fairly good job with range. I know I won't get 221 miles out of that. I'll probably get 200, maybe a bit less, but it's fine. For most people, that is going to be enough to get you out of trouble. Going back to performance, it's a nice car on back roads. It does go around corners pretty nicely. You can feel what's going on to a degree. It's still fairly computer game like. What I do like about it is how well it deals with bumps. It deals with rough roads like this and speed bumps incredibly well. And again, given what this car will be doing and who will be driving it and where they'll be driving it, I think that's one of the most important things. You know, you can glide over speed bumps safely and at a reduced speed, obviously, in a nice, comfortable fashion. So the ride is lovely. It's one of the nicest BYDs I've had in terms of the ride. Okay, let's talk about what I don't like about it. And there's only really one thing. And if you've been watching my car reviews up until now, you'll know what's coming. It's the nannying. It's the stuff this car tells you constantly about your driving. Now, the one thing I will say is that it's definitely quieter than some of the other BYDs that I've driven. Some of them are so noisy when it comes to binging and bonging and telling you what you're apparently doing wrong, and they're not really explaining properly because you can't read the thing that pops up on the display. In that respect, it's a bit quieter. The bings and bongs, unless maybe they've been turned down on this car, I don't know, but they don't seem to be as noisy. However, the one thing I really don't like a lot is that there. So that is a camera and it's pointing at my face, which immediately is weird. Now again, because I've not read the spec sheet, I've not looked at whether or not this is an optional extra. I have no idea whether or not you can just say, no, I don't want that. I have a feeling that that might not be the case. I think it might be standard. But anyway, it's there, it's pointing at my face, and this does two things that I absolutely despise. The first one is it tells me to keep my eyes on the road. And it does it if I've just been looking at there. So look, I don't know if I'm on a very quiet road. So if I just look down at the speedo for a bit, it's not good. There we go. Please focus on driving. I knew exactly what was happening in front of me then. I've been driving since 1999. I know what I'm doing. I'm on a very quiet road at the moment, by the way, so I can speak to you like this, and I'm driving very slowly as well. The point being, I don't need to be told to put my eyes back on the road. And it seems to do it when you've literally just taken your eyes off for 2 or 3 seconds to look at that, or speak to your passenger, or in my case, talk to a camera, which I know isn't normal behaviour. Now you can turn that off, I get that completely, but I don't like it. The fact it's looking at my eyes, and it can even see, I think, through sunglasses, which is weird. However, it gets much worse. It also knows when you yawn. I'm not making this up. If I yawn now, apologies if this sets you off as well, but if I just yawn, tiredness detected. Please take a rest, with a little cup of coffee as the symbol. I won't swear, but no. No, you don't tell me if I'm tired or not. Not you, sorry, that. Do not tell me if I'm tired and then suggest I go and have a cup of coffee. And ironically, like with all of this nannying, again, it's just done it again. I didn't even yawn then. Like all of this nannying stuff, the irony of it is that you have to take your eyes off the road to look at the thing that's appeared on the dash. Now I know whenever I do this sort of thing and cover this in these videos, I always have the people who are brand advocates getting in touch saying, you can turn it off, just turn it. I know you can turn it off, but some of this stuff comes back on, certainly in the UK. It may not be the same in all regions, but in the UK, some of it is only temporarily disabled when you're driving, and then when you stop the car, turn it off and get back into it later, it comes on again. So my conclusion about the Sealion is that it is the nicest BYD car I've driven so far. I would own one of these. It's a lovely motor. It's not a motor, is it? It's a lovely EV. It's comfortable. It's really quick, too quick really. I think it looks fantastic. It's got all the tech. It does have that camera, but the nannying, the rest of the nannying, the bings and the bongs and all that sort of stuff are a bit quiet. There's one now. It's telling me that I'm tired still. They're not too intrusive. So that aside, I think this is a lovely car. If it's on your list, it should be on your list. However, I have no idea how much it costs. So before I pull over and have a look at what it costs, I'm going to take a guess. And I've really struggled with this. I've been thinking about it over the last 2 or 3 days, just trying to get it in my head how much this thing could be. My guess is that it's in the region of, in this particular model, about 45 grand. But let's find somewhere to pull over safely and have a nap. No, not have a nap. Look at the price. This looks like the spot. Let's pull up, open the BYD website and see if I'm right. Right, okay, BYD Sealion 7.
What's up?
Oh, you can talk to BYD.
Sorry,
shut up! Okay, first time I've seen the specs as well, actually. So 133 miles an hour top speed. It's got a 91 kilowatt hour battery. Let's forget all that. I want to know how much this thing is. So configuration. Now I know this one is the Excellence all-wheel drive, so it's the most expensive. Obviously, let's have a look. So we'll choose that, and 59,000. It's a 60 grand car. Wow, okay. 60 grand, interesting. The cheapest Sealion 7 is 47 grand. Okay, so the cheapest one is still quite expensive, isn't it? Am I surprised? A little bit, but then actually I have been singing the praises of this car and saying how well built it is and how lovely it looks, and it's very premium feeling, and it is the best BYD I've driven so far, and I would own one, but would I own one at that price? That's quite a lot, isn't it? I genuinely don't know. What I do like about BYD, and I always say this, is that you get a lot for your money. You get a lot of extras for your money, and also it's an interesting brand. It's not your regular BMW, Audi, whatever. It's something different. Having driven quite a few of their cars now, they know what they're doing. They really know what they're doing, and they are battery people. BYD is essentially a battery company. They've been doing this for a long time. That should be reassuring, I think, when it comes to buying an EV. Let me know what you think in the comments, guys. I'm fascinated by this. This is my last BYD review for a while. Let me know what you think and whether or not you would buy one, or if you have bought one and what you think about it. And if you haven't hit subscribe yet, you know what to do. Do all the normal stuff, like the video, hit subscribe, and tell me what you think in the comments. And I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.